Good evening, viewers. Super Eagle One here, and today I bring you a very different kind of video. Today we should be doing an unboxing video, and it will be an unboxing of one of my favourite games. It is, of course, Field Commander Napoleon, a solitaire strategy battle game by DVG, Dan Verson Games, and is absolutely magnificent in its production. You can see the box in its proportions is nice and thick, good. Well, it's bigger than my hand in terms of length, my finger length. So you've got a nice thick box with all the components in it, and we're going to be opening it up to see what's inside. Alright, game does come with one D10, as you do. So, without further ado, let's open the box. Drum roll, please. Here it is. And inside we have the rules manual. Lovely glossy copy. And the copy has a nice illustration and a contents on the front of cover, which is even better than inside because you can see at a glance what we're dealing with. And it's only got about 22 pages, which is fabulous. And the back is nice and blank. Feels really nice in my hands because it's nice and glossy paper. Just to show you a little bit inside, got an introduction telling us about what the game is about, who Napoleon is, and a quick overview of each of the individual scenarios. And everything is broken up into the various campaigns of Napoleon, with different rules for areas on the maps, what these symbols mean, all the conditions, and all the different boards. I'm just going to very briefly run down. You can pause the video so you can read if you like. Better if you've got your own copy, of course. But I will be talking through most of it, either in this video or another video. Sequence of play there. The French turn, which is the player's turn. And of course, the resolution of battles and the sequence in which it takes place. The different battle plans or special insight counters that you can use if Napoleon is present. And every single one is nicely explained in depth, so it leaves nothing to the imagination. You can find it in the book and from there have some clarity in your game, which is what we all want at the end of the day. Turn counters, post-battle cleanup, supply, the enemy's turn, and all their movements and their resupply. And yeah, and then how to link your games, how to get a cumulative victory. It's a very cute game. It's a very easy to read manual. As you see, the text, they're using a nice serif, Times New Roman, I think, no less. But serifs, I love serifs because it naturally on your eyes helps you to read and roll onto the next letter and word, which is fantastic. So that's the manual, and here's a nice little catalogue of all the other games that they've got on there. No spoilers of which one I've already got for now. So next on here we have this lovely sheet here, again glossy paper. This is a record of all the campaigns that you've done, any notable features of the campaign, date of victory, and of course victory points achieved in that campaign. Very nice sheet. Here is the one that I've filled out. I did photocopy the original, of course. And yeah, there's a nice one there. So yeah, I did a whole playthrough of all the campaigns and recorded the final battle, I believe, for each of them. So that's quite nice. Now let's see what else we've got. This here is the battle combat board. So on this one you'll see the French forces deploy here, the enemy here, and then you'd use battle plans to move them across the board for victory or defeat. Here we have the fog of war chart. This chart is used every time combat is about to begin, so pre-battle, and it can determine the fog of war, whether you've not scouted the enemy properly, whether you've used too much supplies, or whether in fact the enemy have dug themselves in with some fortifications. All sorts on there. Also it determines the battle number of turns a battle will take, and gives you some helpful reminders along with the result of a battle if it takes too long. So yeah, and a nice turn order, which is always helpful. The remaining components inside the box are the battle map, with a campaign map, sorry. So allow me to pull them out one by one to show off the beautiful quality of this game. And these ones are all mounted, which is lovely because we hate damage to any of our boards. Here is a map of northern Italy, played with two scenarios. You can play the 1796 campaign in Italy, when Napoleon made his name as the little corporal of Italy, and the Marengo campaign of 1800. Obviously these are not directly one after the other in sequence, but they both use the same map for the campaign. Here is the 1796 start date all the way till May 1797, and here's the track for the 1800 campaign. We've got France over here with Nice, going to Milan, Great Fortress Mantua, all the way to southern Austria in Klagenfurt. And again, the resupply chart and enemy orders, which is a nice helpful reminder. What have we got next? Next up on the list we go to Egypt. So I'm very meticulous, and I like to store all of these in chronological order. Hence we start with the first campaign in Italy, and then Napoleon's second campaign in 1798, where he went to Egypt. And you can see on the map again, we've got the turn track all the way till the year turns to 1799. And again, all the different special rules of this scenario, such as the attrition and the fortress in Accra, which is constantly being supplied by the British. And note here, the Battle of the Nile takes place during October, all the way over here, which results in more trouble for Napoleon. So yeah, that's all there. Again, we've got a lovely reminder for sequence of play and resupply tables. And you've got lots of turns on this one, which is quite generous. Or is it? What do we have next? Next up, we go to Central Europe, or more specifically Austria and southern Germany. Going all the way from Friedberg to northern Italy, Caldero, Klagenfurt again there, but of course the capital Vienna. And named both here are two famous battles of the wars, Austerlitz in 1805 and Wagram in 1809. So no spoilers there whatsoever, but yes, there it is. And once more you can see the extensive setups for each and every single one, which is very beautiful in my opinion, and we do appreciate that. And the orders, these do change on every single map, just to let you know. So every single map, the AI, because it is a single player game, will respond to your moves and take their actions in a very individual and specified way to give you a challenge. And once more, the starting dates in 1805 and 1809 for the various campaigns. Let's see where we go next. Well, when Napoleon's finished with the Austrians, it's time to go north to northern Germany and Poland, to where we go to Prussia and face the Russians on their border, with the campaign of 1806 and the 1813 campaign, ultimately resulting in the Battle of no spoilers there. Yeah, so fantastic there. Another beautiful map with lots of regions, lots of space, with cities on there, and what more could you ask for? Plenty of turns to enjoy the game, and as it unfolds, will you change history or will you fall short of Napoleon's glory? That's the joy of the game. Whoa, I think we can all recognise where this is. The Iberian Peninsula, Spain, but instantly you can already see once more that the game has changed again. You have different icons, different special rule system and setup again. It changes how you play, how your supply works. Enemies see special rules, you know. Sequence of play is still similar. But yeah, and that makes the game exciting at every turn. And once more gives me another thumbs up to this game, considering this is just an unboxing. I'm giving it high praise and good reviews already. Let's show you what's the next map. Okay, here we have the Russian campaign of 1812 with its own special rules, obviously for the attrition. And over here, the setup of Napoleon's Grande Armée, very thick army there, and then the Russian forces throughout Russia. And once more, you can see key cities from Warsaw to Smolensk, and of course, Moscow. No St. Petersburg on the map, note, but Moscow is the target. Alright. Now we shall show you, I believe, the final map, which is sticking to the box. Once more, a change in dynamics. This map goes portrait. So we can see here, the map starts with, well, with no cities on it. Again, it changes the whole dynamics of everything. And there's no special rules either on this. So it does change everything. But the, oh no, I lied. Special rules here. And special rules here. But I believe it changes the objective on this one. And cities become less of a feature or a factor on this map. So yeah. Give you a good look. And there, of course, is the Battle of Waterloo site with Belgium's Brussels, Paris on the map. Yeah, very exciting. And now we'll move that to one side. Now you're wondering, we've emptied the whole box, but where is all the pieces to go with it? Well, I came up with an incredibly genius storage solution for that. What can I say? My genius is just genius. Anyway, let us open my box now to reveal the pieces and give you a very quick show off of what they are. I've categorized them all according to the year. So you'll see that every single piece in this box is separated by the year, by the nationality and national flag you can see in the yellow strip. That P signifies that this unit is a poor quality unit. That's right, they have ranks as well. And the the name Kwasanovich, sorry, is the name of a commander. So he was the commander of the Austrian troops. And in the brown area, we have a white number. That's his combat value. So 5. So on our D10, we need to roll a 5 or lower to score a hit with this unit. And then the top number is his activation. So if we wanted him to perform a special order, he'd need to roll that. And if I flip him round to his reduced side, you can see his stats go down, and he receives this red mark to signify his weakened state. So that is an Austrian unit. Pop him back in. And this is a French unit, which will be very common because these guys are Napoleon's men. And once more you can see the quality, the change in colour to signify what nationality he belongs to, the combat value and the activation value. Flipping him around, you can see his reduced side. Very neat. Here's a nice unit from the Egyptian campaign, the Mamluks, Korim, and his reduced side. Yeah. Very good. Oh, here's a cavalry unit. Oh, really? And you'll see that he is signified as cavalry by him riding a horse, first and foremost. But also, his combat factor value, as you can see, is 2 to a factor of 1. Now what that means is if you roll a 2, he scores a hit. However, if he scores a 1 on his roll, then he will score 2 hits. So an incredibly powerful warrior. And hits are taken like so. 1 hit, 2 hits. So yes, he can annihilate an entire unit in one go. Let's mix it up. Who have we got here? Oh, we got Green Man here. We got a Russian unit, Langeron. And you can see once more that the beautiful illustration is once more changed his appearance. So he's once more recognizable as a foreign unit from an Austrian or French. Not that the green color gives it away, or the Russian flag. But once more you can see on this one that he has an L for line quality. So he is better quality than those units we saw before, who were P for poor. And on the other side. Here we have a Prussian unit under Brunswick. Very famous General Brunswick in 1806. He did lose his life, however. You can see a nice, try and concentrate. See the nice Prussian eagle. The level of detail is very neat, and I do appreciate that. So yeah, there he is, and here is his other side, like so. Let's pop him back in his home. Here we have one of the Spanish guerrillas, Castaños, very famous commander, as he beat Dupont. And 1807, once more signifying him, Spanish flag signifying his allegiance, and his reduced side. Now another thing to note about these units is that cavalry, oh, this one's a veteran, Davout. When they are, so he's very strong, he's got 8 and 8 with a power of 4, so very, very powerful. If he were to take a hit, you will notice he has no numbers on his rear side cavalry. Cavalry that take a hit are eliminated completely, and that's the end of them. So yeah, you gotta look after your cavalry. But they are also hard hitters, so you want to use them while looking after them. It's a balancing act. We can see the St. Petersburg conscripts here, with the C for conscripts. 1812, invasion of Russia. There they are. Once more see the Austrians, Bubna. Another nice little feature that you'll notice in these illustrations is the French units. Their graphics have changed. So MacDonald here shows him wearing a shako, whereas originally, if I were to grab Gunnier, as we did before, you can see he is wearing a nice bicorn. And once more, MacDonald wearing a shako. Very neat, very nice. And being British myself, how can I not show you a classic? Naturally, I pick up a unit saying Dutch. A classic Sir Arthur Wellington himself, British unit from a British army. And there he is in 1815, ready to take down the old guard. And there's his reduced side. Fantastic stuff there. Beautiful quality. Now, every single year in your campaign has a different Napoleon. This is a terrible example because he's got the same number in both. And in different years and different campaigns, he has a different command value, which determines his ability to perform battle plans and make it easier or harder to win the battle. Now you can see in 1807 he was strong, so he has more battle initiative and command than he does in 1812 when he was at his weaker and making more mistakes, as we all know. Also, he was not too well during the Napoleonic invasion of Russia. So yeah, there's that level of detail going into this. Over here we have the enemy fortifications and garrisons. So those cities on those maps, these would be placed down in every city that and you'd have to take out these static forces. And yes, artillery is in the game in order to capture them. Here's a generic recruits that the enemy can bring in when they're resupply phase. When these recruits die, they only have one side and then they're eliminated, so they're quite weak. But you have the same options as the French as well, with your own set of recruits. But once they've been recruited, that's it, they're gone. And you can also bring in your own fortifications, which is quite handy because artillery is very good for buying time and can do quite a bit of damage. Here are some examples of the enemy battle plans. Aimed and melee, both of which, this one allows the enemy to attack you twice and change its formation. Quite a deadly one, that one. And aimed gives them a nice strong boost to their attack, which is never nice. Here are quite a few of your own battle plans and insights you can use to bolster your units, or to change the terrain of a battle, to control how it's all deployed. Or maybe you want to flank the enemy. Or maybe you feel that changing the time of battle might help you. Maybe a short battle to make a quick escape. Or a longer battle so you can make sure that you thoroughly crush the enemy. All these factors play into your decisions and affect the game. And finally, I've got a nice miscellaneous set. So we've got the objective markers, very neat counter. The turn counter with the enemy's turn, flipped over to your turn. Markers for scouts. And of course, various supply markers, which signify how many supplies you have or how many battle plans you have available. So yeah, that's the game and all its components. Field Commander Napoleon. thank you very much for joining me on this unboxing video. I hope you enjoy. I would look very much like to go into depth into each individual campaign and show you their setup, and maybe if we get a nice reception to all this, I might just film an example of play. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, have a good night, and we'll see till next time. Bye-byes.